And we are back. Pokemon Black Hardcore Randomizer here. We've beaten our Leaf Green Randomizer. We've beaten our Emerald and Heart Gold Randomizers. Can we bring it to Gen 5 and complete this black one on the first try? That would be fantastic. For our options, we got the Whimsicott, we've got the Ursaring, and we've got the Psychic type Gardevoir. This one's a pretty fun selection here. You got the really fast Whimsicott. The Ursaring I never really use as a normal typing, but you gotta go with the Gardevoir. So let's see if we can redeem me and Sock's Ward. Failed Soul Link for black and white. A lot of pressure riding on this one, but I do believe we can do it. For our Route 1 first encounter, it is none other than the Gyarados here. So our Gardevoir has the Gluttony passive, which is really nice. And now we're working on this Gyarados. We only have the starting 5 Pokeballs, though. And on top of that, Gyarados has Thrash. They're doing tons of damage right out the gate. We lay down a Growl. We get the Double Team Cheese in there, hoping we can dodge a couple of these Thrashes and giving us enough time to whittle down the Gyarados and then catch it with the Pokeball. But on top of that, it's like if we crit a Confusion, I'm pretty sure the Gyarados dies because we're level 7 and it's only level 2. So I don't even know if it can survive a base Confusion either. So this is a really tipsy situation. We're hoping for a couple smacks in the face there from the Confusion because I think that could add up and whittle down the Gyarados. But again, we're already down 2 Pokeballs. Can this one secure? We get the Jiggles, but it's not enough and it snaps out of the Confusion. So either she kills us with the Thrash or we kill it with the Confusion, basically. So really, it's all on the Pokeballs to secure this first encounter. Thankfully, the Thrash misses. But now that the Thrash is missing, it can't get confused and hurt itself in Confusion. So we go all in on our own and see all we need is 1 HP. All we need is 1 HP. And we end up killing our first encounter. And of course, it was Gyarados. All right, our first big fight here is going to be N right there at the starting town, or past the starting town, I should say, and he just sends out a Muck. No problem here, as we have a Stab Super Effective Confusion lined up. Muck tries to stall out with a little bit of Harden on his side of things, but we just fade with a Confusion. Easy stuff. Let's keep N in mind for the future. And then for our Route 2 first encounter, it is going to be the pink Corsola. She's going to end up with the Steadfast ability, secure it with the Pokeball. That brings us to our first Bianca fight of many. She's right here. She's posing under the alias Performer Kim for this fight here. Pawniard comes down. The Dark Steel typing, which is immaculate against our starter here, as we can't even hit it with our only move in Confusion. So we pivot into Colorado, the Corsola, tanking that Leer no problem, and we are just going to bubble down. We can tank that critical hit scratch, no problem here. The bubble doing a little bit of damage, not the most, but enough to get the job done as we tank another Leer there. No problem. Pawniard really setting up for these long distance scratches, but the bubbles continue to come down and Pawniard is defeated. Next up, we have the Joltik, who threatens a super effective electric typing onto Colorado here, so potentially we can just pivot back into Alaska, our starter. The Gardevoir comes down. The Screech is sidestepped and dodged. We drop back with a Stab Confusion, and it is enough to take down the cute and cuddly little Joltik. That brings us to our gifted encounter here in the Dream Yard, where you can usually get one of the elemental monkeys, and this time we get the Pure Power Lunatone. So we are going to try to lean into that physical on top of its already decent special attack. So let's see how the Moon can fare for this run. Alrighty, so we beat N, we beat Bianca, and now it's time to take on Tristan or Charon before the first gym here. He's got 2 Pokemon lineup, and he throws out the Bug Steel Fortress. Absolutely adore Scissor's typing here, but let's see if we have what it takes to bring down the Rock Throws. That is a Pure Power Rock Throw. However, the Bug Bite comes down, and Rock does not resist that, so it is pure access to that Psychic typing, and Fortress is in a very good spot as it can hit our Gardevoir for super effective as well with that Bug Bite, meaning our only bastion of hope here is going to be Colorado, the Corsola. Who would have thought you'd lean into the Corsola to win this game, but we are doing it live right now as the Oranberry heals up the Fortress, and thankfully he's just cheesing Protect right here, not wanting to rain down those Bug Bites, which could be everything. But Fortress is very scared of the Corsola, and I guess you should be. I mean, just look at her. So the bubbles keep coming down. The Harden is here. We actually go for a Harden. I don't know if that was a misclick, but okay, I thought I was going to cheese protect there, so I went for the Harden, but there we go. We're just going to keep clicking bubble regardless. If he wants to protect, that's fine, but we are just going to keep the onslaught coming, and another bug bite rains down, and if the second Pokemon has super effective options, whether it's a dark type or a bug type against Gardevoir and Lunatone, we could lose this battle as Colorado holds on with 8 HP and needs one more bubble to clear Sharon's first Pokemon, and that is ridiculous. The amount of pressure that Fortress is laying down at this point in the game is immaculate. The Scantler comes down. Now, thankfully, that is not dark or bug, so I do believe we can pivot into our Gardevoir, who has that little bit of a level advantage, and those stab confusions are going to be doing work. We tank that, no problem. A little bit of HP off the top. Another tackle comes down. It is stab, but it is not enough to take down our starter. Charon is defeated. The hardest part about the black and white games is the lack of encounters. So max amount of encounters we have before this first gym is only 4. And as we saw, the Gyarados got away from us. So we only have 3 Pokemon to offer. I'm thinking of like Leaf Green and Emerald, where you can have upwards of 5 or 6 Pokemon going into that first gym, which is crazy. So we only have 3 here, and we are coming in alive. And the starting Pokemon for the gym leader here is going to be Entei, who has a super effective bite lined up. What is this ridiculousness? But we hit a very nice rock throw with that pure power lineup as well, which is super effective, but we pivot to a confusion, trying to get that confusion roll, knowing that the rock throw couldn't kill, but we should have just doubled down. Thankfully, we don't get punished too badly, and Louisiana snipes the Entei from that range. We get a double level up as well as we were puppy guarding the top of the XP bar, and now the Muna comes down with a little bit of snow warning. The hail is falling, but these stab rock throwers with the pure power to boot is doing amazing. The Imprison comes down, not wanting us to use the same moves. It's feeling a little bit jealous there, a little bit angry as the Yawn is here, but we heal with the Oranberry that Sharon provided for us. Another rock throw misses. This is ridiculous. Another Yawn comes down, and we do fall asleep. Do we swap? No, we don't. We stay in. Even though we're sleeping on the job, we tank a side beam. It is not very effective. No problem there. And we are still sleeping on the job. And we tank yet another one. The hail is coming down, though we are getting chipped away, but we want it all. So now it is time for our Corsola to come in. A little pink on pink action. Side beam is here. It is going to be neutral. Nice damage off the top with the hail as well. Can we break through this ridiculousness and get a bubble? Yes, we can. And the little Muna gets fade away crit on, and that does secure the first gym badge from Preschooler Ann. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, that sets us up for our second Sharon battle right here, right now. We still have our signature team of 3. He's got 2 Pokemon he's working with, and the Woobat comes down. So we have 2 rock types lined up against this flying type, which is nice. Corsola doesn't have a rock type move yet, but that should be fine as a critical hit confusion comes down. And forget that, we are parachuting our little pink blob out to safety here as Louisiana comes in with that pure power lined up. This rock throw should do every bit of damage that we need it to as the Woobat falls. No problem there. That was a little bit tipsy right out the gate as the Glalie comes down. A fully evolved Glalie is looking really good. However, a stab super effective rock throw is going to be everything, and Tristan or Charon is defeated. And then for our Wellspring Cave first encounter, it is going to be the normal type Meowth here. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. She's going to end up with the Klutz passive, which isn't great, but when she evolves, she could potentially get something much better. And then for our Pinwheel Forest first encounter, it is going to be the little Caterpie. And unfortunately, it's already past level 10, so it's not going to get access to that confusion that Butterfree gets upon evolution. But either way, she ends up with the download ability, and it will eventually become the Thick Fat passive. And now it is time to take on N once again, just outside the second gym here. He leads with the tiny little Fungus, and we lead with Meowth. We come in with that Stab Fake Out, doing some nice chip damage off of the top, and we do have access to Silver Wind. Now, Meowth's special attack isn't quite as good as its physical, but either way, it's going to be a nice chance of getting that Omni Boost, which is really what we are fishing for. The randomizer really does offer you so many different crazy moves that you normally wouldn't use, but I do like how it also kind of hinders you from using your typical Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrowers that you can just walk into the game corner and get. So you definitely take that for what it is as we do whittle down the Fungus with those silver wins. And now the next Pokemon is going to be the Mothim. Very cool in design. I haven't seen it used too well in the actual fights here, as Main gets slapped with that damage, and another tackle comes down, leaving us at 6 HP, and Mothim showing that it can take on a Pokemon 4 levels up and not really care. It is fully evolved, which is nice. The tackle continues to come down, however, the rock typing keeping him at bay. We drop back with a rock throw, and it is enough damage to take down N. Once again, I'm just kidding. He has the Cradily in the back, ready to go. He has upgraded to 3 Pokemon, and we're just going to pivot into our starter, Gardevoir here. Coming at you live, the Ingrain comes down and going for the long haul, but I don't think we're going to be here for that long. As the Confusion comes down, it's going to do more than half HP. It is not. It's going to be about a 3-shot if we can, unless Gardevoir finds it fitting in her heart to fade away crit on the big fossil Pokemon. The Confusion comes down, and it isn't a crit. It holds on. The Astonish is here. A lot of damage with that critical hit on his side of things. Another Confusion, though, will finish the fight. Cradily falls and is defeated, and it is almost time for that second gym battle. Alrighty, just before the second gym, we ended up running into a fossil lying on the ground, so we were able to exchange that right here in the second gym, and it ends up being a Charmander. The only downside to this is it's going to be level 25, so we can't use it until later, but still a really cool first encounter. It's going to end up with the Lightning Rod passive, but if and when we can get it to a Charizard, it might end up with the Magma Armor passive, which means it can't get frozen. So Charmander is added to the roster. Alrighty, we got the full team of 6 right here, right now. Some Pokemon are a little bit stronger than others, but that leads us to fight Noelle here or Lindora. And let's see what she has to work with. Normally, she has those normal type Pokemon. The Victini comes down, though. The Psychic Fire looking fantastic. A very strong offensive Pokemon. We go in for the Rock Polish. Getting a little bit greedy here, trying to outspeed our opponent if we can. The Victini sidesteps the Rock Throw, which isn't great. However, it's leaning into the Headbutt strats, and thankfully that's not very effective. And now we can't get flinched because we are faster, so we drop back with one more Rock Throw, and Victini is gone. Louisiana doing so much work here with that pure power, and that rock typing really coming in handy against those normal type moves. The Clink is going to be the ace here. He comes down with that steel typing that could be super effective. We go for a Hail Mary Hypnosis. Knowing this fight might be drawn out, we see through the 60% accuracy, and we landed on the first shot, and now we have options. We can swap out. We can try to stay in and chip away. We go for that Confusion, trying to double down with the Confusion as well, trying to make Clink sleep and confuse, and we get a nice rock throw in there that is half HP. We're trying to chip it down so we don't get in range of the heal as it goes for a charge, raising that special defense, which isn't great for the Confusion. However, that just means we go for more rock throws, but we also miss on that rock throw, so having that accuracy, that 10% miss chance is not great, but we lean into another one, chipping away. It gets another charge here, and that looks like 2 more rock throws unless we can get a nice crit in there. But now its special defense is really high as we land another Hypnosis. This Lunatone is on fire right now. What is going on? But we really don't have any great options. We have no fire. We don't really have anything we don't have any fighting types that could really punish this Clink steel typing. So we are just staying in and continuing to miss all of these rock throws. The only problem with rock type moves is that accuracy. Typically, as we get one more rock throw, it is a crit, but it's not enough, and Clink holds on with 1 HP. But we do fade away with a Confusion. We put down Lenora, and that secures us the second gym badge. And as far as this video goes, my goodness, as always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.